Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. Today's video will be a pico card reading for the collective. The cards here are whispering and the universe is ready to share a message just for you. So take a deep breath, quiet your mind for a moment and let your intuition guide you. Which of these three cards are you most drawn to? Just the first card your heart leans towards. There are no coincidences here. Your message is waiting. So the first card we have today is number 44. And it says Rings of Time. So if you look at the picture, there's like rings that are effortlessly flowing into one another. They're all interconnected, it kind of feels like a thumbprint. It also feels like, the prints that we find on the bark of trees, those big trees that have been here for a long, long time, hundreds of years or years of years. The big, thick parts have some kind of similar patterns. This also looks like a microscopic view of organisms to me. So I would say that these three things are coming prominently to mind, but Rings of Time is speaking of, universal timing. The universe doesn't have a clock. It's just whenever things are ready for us to manifest, whenever we are ready to receive the gift of our efforts, the labor, things come to us. So, and everything, I feel big and small, it's the timing that matters. Like, when do we plan for college? When do we plan for work? When do we plan to start a family? If we do start a family, if we do want to start a family, when is that time? And no matter how much we plan it in our head, no matter how much we try, things happen when they're meant to happen. So I feel that this energy is reinforcing the fact that everything, things unfold, our life story unfolds as it should, in perfect timing. Now, when we talk about timing, it's kind of cyclical, the birth, deaths, the rebirths, the past, the present, the future. The current moment becomes past in a second, and the future is what we're living right now. I mean, think about it. In fractions of seconds, our present becomes the past and future becomes the present. In seconds, that's how it goes. But I feel that the common thread that connects generations, civilizations together is humans. The humans are common. The humans and life, I would say, not just humans, the life on this earth is what is common across generations, across civilizations. And also one thing I would say is that, yes, everything happens in cycles. We have ancestors that have walked this earth. Then there is a past generations and things like that. Then there is a current, then there is a future generation. It's all a cycle. And while humans are evolving, I feel that the human psyche is also evolving over a period of time. And when we speak of humans, we speak of everything that comes with being a human, every human experience. Interaction with people, the love that we experience in myriad ways, parental love, family love, the love of our, the colleagues that we work with, the neighborhood, our teachers, our mentors, our family, and, extended family and friends and neighborhood and everything, the universal love, the divine love. That's what we experience across lifetimes, across generations, and of course, across lifetimes. So, the Rings of Time is all about understanding and weaving the past, the present, and the future all together. And once we understand the past, now some of you I feel could be, looking at your past. Some of you could be studying your past. Some of you could be looking up into your ancestors or the family lineage or the genes or things like that. Some of you could be looking back in time. Or some of you could be thinking about the future. Some of you could be planning way ahead, like 5-year plans, 10-year plans. Where will you be? What will you do? But no matter how much we plan, things happen when they're meant to happen, in the way that it's meant to happen. That's what is the, that's how the universe planned for us, orchestrated for us. Some of you might be interested in the history, maybe of the planet, of environmental history, civilizations, past generations, documentaries, ancient civilizations. Some of you could be interested in that or participating in, the study of that in some way, shape, or form. This energy reminds me of Cyndi Lauper's song, Time After Time. And it's a beautiful song. So it resonates, it comes to mind for this energy. But sometimes, we are, so I would say that this also speaks to our connection to the past, our connection to the generations, our ancestors. Sometimes we get pulled to doing things, visiting places, and you don't even know the reason why. And when we explore it, we figure that we had a connection to that place. I've heard this from a lot of people. So some of you could be witnessing those kind of events or situations where you're planning for a place, you're being called to that place, but you don't know why. Now, this can also be that you are planning something in time. Maybe you're planning something for the future. Maybe you're planning to go to college, or you're planning for some kind of a big event you're planning for, I would say. Something like, going to big event as in going to college, planning for retirement, or shifting careers, taking up jobs, starting a family, finding a partner. These are the events, right, that we consider as phases of life. So I feel that with the Rings of Time, it's all about, I don't know how many of you know about the capsules, the time capsules. I had read about those time capsules, of the 1950s, and I think they recently opened up, they were talking about the time capsule about, I don't know which, 1975 or 1985 or something like that, where they were talking about the predictions in the time capsule that were so, different from what the reality was. So some of you could be into that as well, reading up about time capsules. Or you could be visiting some historical places that speak to you about the past, and you might be learning up about it, those, what you call those heritage properties or historical properties. So some of you could be into that as well. Or this could be something of the past that's being reconstructed into the present, like, vestation of the past that keeps repeating itself, in newer ways, of course, but then it draws inspiration from the past. Some of you could be picking up, resources from the past, maybe your books as a child that you read, or maybe shows or movies that you saw in the past. Suddenly, you want to watch them again. Or maybe a skill that you learned in the past, you want to make a use of it. So something related to the past that will shape your future could be at the forefront right now for some of you that chose to pick this card. Or this could be you analyzing how time teaches us, how time is a teacher. Everybody says time is the best teacher. Some of you could be thinking about those different phases, the different moments, the different timelines in your life that taught you so much, that shaped you to be the person that you are today. You know, the wisdom, the experiences, the strength that we have, the personality that we develop over a period of time could be something that you could be thinking about. And knowing that, you know, if you hadn't been there, you would not have met this person, you would not have learned that. So everything has been, you know, orchestrated for us. And I feel that once we realize that, we appreciate, you know, the cosmic timing so much. We appreciate tradition so much. We appreciate our history so much. We appreciate the wisdom of the ancestors so much. Some of you could be in that reflective sense where you're kind of connecting to the past events, to the past of yourself or your family, and seeing how your future is being shaped by the past as well. So I feel that you know, you have developed the appreciation and the patience to wait and see how things unfold for you. So that was card 1. Now, if you have picked the card number 2, that is the card of beauty, and it is number 58. So 5, 8, and 3, 5, 8, and 13 are coming through strong. So with 13, you can say 1, 3, and 4 at the same time. Beauty now. Look at the image. The image is all about, you know, it's showing as a female person, but beauty doesn't know any gender. So we're talking of, it could be a masculine, it could be a feminine, whatever you are, but beauty is all about seeing that within yourself, not just superficiality, not just superficial beauty. It's the beauty in all things, in all human beings, in ourselves. It's the beauty of not just superficiality or external beauty. It's all about, you know, the beauty in nature, how beautifully the different varieties of plants, animals, trees, everything adds to the beauty around us. It adds to our environmental beauty. Every person, every culture, every food, every tradition, that adds beauty. That adds different flavors to our lives. You know, everything that's perfect, that's imperfect, everything has a beauty to it. It has a connection to us. The oceans, you know, the beaches, they have their own beauty. And we appreciate the presence of water, of waterfalls, of lakes, rivers, you know, nature, birds, cats, animals. You know, even the wilderness has a beauty to it. So it may not be perfect, but it still is beautiful. So when we start to see the beauty even in those imperfections, then you start to find the grace, the hidden blessing behind every situation. When we learn to see the beauty of the situation, even, you know, that brings us to a state of peace, that brings us to a state of harmony within ourselves. When we start to celebrate beauty of every kind, you know, and everyone's unique. When we start to find the beauty and the joy in the big and small things, you know, just existing, just breathing, just being healthy, just drinking a cup of coffee, just watching a movie, there is beauty in that too. Now, the energy of this card is very much, you know, airy, like it's related to the element of air. And with air, air moves fast. We cannot see it, but we know that it's there. So believing in things that we cannot see is part of this. And, you know, things work. The universe is constantly at work. Things are happening and shaping for us behind the scenes. that we cannot see at this point in time. Once we learn to appreciate the beauty of that as well, that allows us to feel, our connection, our presence at a deep level. So I feel that this energy of this card is not about being focused on how things look. Sometimes when you do DIY, like for example, a table, you want to buy a table and it's really expensive, or real wood table, I don't even know if they make any real wood tables these days, but if we get a table from, maybe a grandparents or even the generation beyond, if we find something, and there are a lot of thrift stores, a lot of stores that have those kind of, collection. So if you get a table that has been chipped off, that, maybe doesn't look good in color, and we paint it, we DIY it, and turn it into something which is according to our taste, it starts to look beautiful. Knowing that underneath that pane of coat, underneath the hat, table cover is a solid wood that's holding up for years together. So we can either choose to look at those imperfections on the table, or we can just, redo it and, create an object which, now looks beautiful after those panes of coat. So same with us, on the outside, we can cut our hair, wear different kind of clothes, shoes, bags, but the beauty that we have inside of us beneath all those external appearances is something that makes us, that makes us unique, that makes us beautiful. So, while we kind of look at, perfect things, whether it's social media, or celebrities and things like that on screen, people in the best of clothes, in the best of moods, in the best of spirit on TV, we also need to know that there is something which is going on behind the scenes. Those authentic moments, those moments where life truly happens. So while we enjoy the goodness, we also should be equally seeing the beauty in those messy moments when we're trying to sort things out, when we're trying to work things out, when we're trying to upgrade, upskill, enrich our lives. And I feel that once we start doing that, then we align ourselves with, the cosmos, the universe. We can appreciate the imperfect, and so I feel that acceptance of everything, every situation, every experience, every person we meet is here for a reason, to teach us something, to help us with something, to give us some advice, or to be our friends, to be with us through thick and thin, or to, whatever be the reason. When we understand deeply the reason why things happen, why experiences happen, and the beauty which is lying beneath those experiences and those situations, is when we merge our life with the cosmos, with the consciousness, with the higher consciousness, with the collective consciousness. So, there's this body positivity movement which is going around for several years now. And Lizzo championed this cause, right, of accepting ourselves, celebrating the different forms of beauty across the world, the traditions across the world, the crafts, the music, the passion, the what do you call the everything, the cars, the different kind of cars, and appliances, everything. I would say everything's unique, everything's beautiful. The flower is that, the natural beauty. We start to question those conventional standards of the past. Like, we lived through an era where everything needed to be perfect. Like this, that, and the third. The table here, the chair exactly here, the tablecloth right at this point, this color, this shade, this, that, and the third. There was a standard that was set for everything. Now we're moving in a more, inclusive environment, more creative, flowing, and diverse environment, where we appreciate everything. We're here, there, everywhere. We capture those moments of uniqueness, of beauty, through our pictures, through the camera, through that lens. We want to keep it with us. We want to look at it. We want to appreciate it. We go to different places. We admire the different, the beautiful architecture, the cafes, the everything. Is different about every place, and we learn to appreciate that. We're coming out of those stereotypes like how a cafe should look or how a store should look. No, we appreciate everything that's coming up. So I feel that this energy, if you've seen that movie Amelia, I hope I'm saying it right. Amelia Poulain is the main character is in that, and she finds beauty in the mundane things of life, and that actually is, even I feel that's the true beauty, and I really enjoy like even the basic decor things and everything she does, Amelia in that movie, it's every action of hers has an intention of adding value to the lives of other people. Now, there's U2 song, The Beautiful Day, that also celebrates beauty and beauty in everything, beauty of existence, beauty in everything. Beautiful Day, it's a beautiful song by U2. So listen to that if you want to, bring in this energy. Now, if you look at the pictures, there's, especially on the Google Slides or Google Drive, or Google, what is that called? Pictures, Google Photos. People have taken pictures, they posted it on the Google portal, and you'll see that there is beauty in every picture. And people find beauty in unexpected places, the sand dunes or, wild wilderness or just wildflowers, or just elderly sitting there watching or sitting on a bench, sipping a cup of coffee, the rain, somebody dancing in the rain, umbrellas flying, this, that, and the third, use pictures of moments are so beautiful and each one is unique. Everybody's lens to which they look at things in the world is unique. Their perspectives are unique. And when you look at those pictures, we celebrate that because it adds value to our lives, to appreciate what people appreciated in those moments. And there are so many organizations that do that too when they recognize the beauty in architecture. UNESCO, they want to preserve those heritage sites. They want to preserve those beautiful, the forest, the rainforest, a national forest, all of these wonders are something that is that needs to be protected. And yes, of course, there is modernization efforts, beautification efforts, where neglected spaces are transformed into beautiful areas, and that's a good thing too. But it's an act of preservation. They want to preserve the past. Yes, with a modern day take for those architectural monuments that have disintegrated over time, but then we still want to preserve that in some way or another. This reminds me of the fact that when we're cooking and we, prepare a dish, it might not look, picture perfect, but when we taste it, it tastes really good. It might not be as beautiful to post it or, to add to our albums or collection of pictures, but then when we taste it, it's really delicious and we enjoy that meal. It's that moment of, I feel that's related to this beauty as well. If you have heard of Iris Affa, I like her, idea when she says that beauty is about how we express ourselves, how confident we are in the skin that we are in. Beauty is not about conforming to some standards. It's about carrying yourself in a way which uh, carrying ourselves in a way which radiates confidence, which is a unique expression of ourselves. So with this energy, I feel that some of you will start to feel more appreciative of the smaller things, like, enjoying a sunset by the beach, or just having a cup of tea or coffee in your patio, in your backyard, or just, bringing in a bouquet of flowers, enjoying, the fragrance of flowers, enjoying some song, some movie that, touches you deeply. It's also about just enjoying the beauty in the moments that where we are, in the laughs that we have, the shared laughs, the shared stories, the meetups, the get-togethers, in stories that people tell us, in people that we meet while we're just walking and jogging, just appreciating those lighter moments and feeling gratitude, and also wanting to contribute to the world, in our own beautiful and special ways. So I think those are the changes that some of you will probably see with this energy. So that was the card number 2 for today. Now, if you pick the third card, it is the card of self-initiation, number 12. 1, 2, and 3 are coming through strong with this energy. Now, self-initiation is about taking bold steps forward. And I feel that, whatever old narratives, old habits, and it could be any habit, whether it's about your negative self-talk or indiscipline or whatever that old pattern, old habit is, it's time to let that go and adopt a new way of being, in the sense that with newer discipline, with newer values, with newer belief system. And self-initiation also gives you the opportunity to start projects, connect with newer groups, with newer people, do something that aligns with your desire at this point in time. So it's a call to step up. It's a call to trust your capabilities, to trust your inner calling. It's also, an encouragement to be that leader that you feel you are, whether it's in your own life or whether it's leading groups, companies, cities, whatever leadership is to you. So do whatever your heart is calling you to do. Sometimes, our neighborhood, our situation, people in the family, they're not aware of our intentions, our plans. They don't understand it, but that's okay. I mean, it's not for them to decide what your career path should be, or what your side gig should be, or how, you feel comfortable to live. I don't think it should be anybody else's decision rather than yours. So, it's a very, if you see the card, it's very flamey, it's very red, it's a very passionate energy, very driven. So I feel that you might be having some new ideas. This energy is giving you that boost of energy to go forward and, do it. It's that spark. See, it's a very fiery, red, passionate energy. So it's that spark that is going to propel you forward. Now, with Mars energy, it looks like a very Martian rule card because of its red color. There is a chance of impulsivity. So be mindful of those decisions or the choices that are impulsive. So just be mindful of that. Now, this can also be a self-initiation into some kind of a practice. Maybe you're learning a new skill, which is completely different from where you're working, or initiation of a conversation or a collaboration. This could also be you initiating some kind of a practice in your daily life, maybe a meditation or maybe some kind of a ritual that you want to make it your own. So changing things up, kind of moving away from stereotypes for traditional structures might be happening around you or to you. It's like when people kind of they chose to be like traveling and working. It's called a digital nomad culture, which is a different lifestyle from like being in one position, one city, one place, and confined to that, and commuting by car. That it's a different lifestyle of working remotely. Traveling to different places or living in campers and vans and things like that. So that's a completely tangent and a different way of traditional structures. So some of you could be trying that as well. It doesn't have to be as tangent to this, but it could be something which is different from the traditional structure. Now, with this energy, you might be traveling to places that you never imagined that you would be drawn to. You might be starting a projects that you never thought you were capable of. You might be teaming up with, a group, of entrepreneurs to create new business models and, break free from the established structures or, today, even education is going through some changes. I mean, the way education is done, the colleges that the younger generation is choosing to go, they're trying different approaches. They're trying different career paths, which is very different from the generation prior to them. Because some decisions are actually influenced by our environment, the market conditions, our situations, the worldly situation, the global situation. A lot of self-initiations happen because of changing global culture. Now, this can also be a changing of diets or the kind of food you consume. This could be the kind of wardrobe you have, the kind of fashion that you embrace. And a lot of designers also do the same thing, like they kind of break free from their stereotypical clothing. They kind of step out of that and they create their own styles and aesthetics. So that's something that you could be seeing around you. You could be doing that as well. Now, today I'm also hearing about sustainable fashion initiatives that are going on. So that's different from the fast fashion or the runway fashion tradition that was followed for years now. There's fast fashion going on. So now things are shifting up a little bit towards sustainable fashion. So there are things that are changing solar panels. It's a change in the way electricity is generated, or wind panels, or wind turbines. That's a different way of how power is generated, eco-friendly way. So some of you could be, seeing things like that happen, which are different from the traditional norms, or you could be trying something yourself. The good thing about this energy, I feel, is about feeling free and strong and capable and independent enough to be able to follow your path of work. Now, no path is going to be smooth. So the willingness to learn to collaborate, to make mistakes, to take those calculated risks also comes with this energy. But it also speaks of how confident you are in your ability to create something, how self-assured you are in your talents, in your convictions. So this will require some strength from you as well, because, there are external opinions that kind of sway us, that kind of, some will, give us a thumbs up, some will not be on the same page as us. So, like, to steer clear of those external opinions and to stick with your convictions, and pursuing your dream will require some strength. But knowing that your investment of time, energy, and money is purposeful, is purpose-driven. So for those of you that chose this card, I feel that there is something that you are about to create. You have that inner fire lit inside of you. And if that's your inner calling, then trust it, because it is, drawing you towards a certain direction, a path, your destiny. It's like a destiny's calling. So go forward with this and embrace this energy and just trust the universe and trust your own self. So thank you guys for joining and hope you enjoyed your pick a card.